Well, I know you've
Okay,
been.
so
Go ahead. I know your day was crazy going down the rabbit hole.
yes, chat. So I want to talk tonight about a situation, and I've got people involved, but I'm not going to name names. But this thing becomes so generalized that it needs to be spoken about in that regard. So we're talking about scammers tonight, and we're not talking about the normal scammers who we get every now and again. We're talking about what a problem, what consequences can be if you get involved with a romance scammer tonight. Okay, and we're particularly talking tonight about what happens when you become involved with a scammer who claims to be a member of um, any type of army or marines or defense type
Jobs.
um, jobs. Yes, so anyone in the government. What's the word, Deb? I can't
The
just say the army because you're talking about
government,
like army.
yeah, the military services.
That's it. That's the way military. So, oh God,
Yeah.
how do I not know that? I was a military wife for 15 years.
Was I
Okay,
was
so
I was a
we're
Marine's wife for 7, so I know.
we're talking about. Hang on a minute. I just dropped something. Hang on. Oh, I've got to pick that up.
I hate this fucking couch. I swear I'm gonna get rid of it.
Oh, it's still there. Um. Okay, so tonight we're talking about military scammers. There's 100 million trillion types of scammers out there, but tonight we're going to talk about military scammers. And I, for those of you who don't know, I've got a history in helping women who are about my age, and both women and men who are my age and above, or around this type of age. I'm not saying I'm the youngest person in the realm, but um, I help people figure out if they're speaking to scammers, or I have um, a sense that tells me if somebody's speaking to a scammer that I need to contact them and let them know. And I've just had a really crazy ride over the last 24 hours, and I wanted to speak about the things that I come across because I think it's very important to teach people about this. I know that a lot of you are probably a lot younger, but you guys have got mothers, you've got grandmothers, you've got grandfathers, you guys have got relatives that may be single and that may be craving some sort of affection from somebody and can go down a rabbit hole themselves with scammers. So I just want to talk about how they contact these elderly people and the trouble that elderly people can get themselves into while while talking to these scammers. And I want to talk to you about how far the scammers will push these elderly people because we all know that they have no sense of
Yeah.
morals or ethics, and they have no sense about who they hurt while doing this, and they will
They're
go to the utmost extremes to teach the elderly about how to send them money. And it's not just about them conning money out of elderly people. There's other consequences that come with elderly people being contacted by scammers. Sorry, Deb, did you want to say something?
Oh, I was just gonna say they're almost like pedophiles of the mind because they F these elderly people into such delusional,
Mm-hmm.
unrealistic uh things to look forward to and a life that they're gonna have together, and just
Yep.
it's just disgusting.
Yep, that's right. So first of all, we're going to talk about where they come from. Like I said, we're concentrating on one type of scammer tonight because it's just too much of a rabbit hole to go down to talk about all different types of scammers. So tonight we're going to talk about military scammers. Um, Now, the first place that these people are going to be found. Sorry, I'm just writing this down because I want to write a blog on it later. Okay, so first places that these people will be found by the scammers is Facebook, and the other place is dating sites like Plenty of Fish or um, basically a lot of dating sites that more elderly people would use. The other place is like Christian dating sites, um, and
Senior,
um,
probably senior ones.
yeah, senior dating sites. Anything where things like Instagram, and they are on Instagram and TikTok and stuff like that. And okay, I think I need to break this down too. Okay, so I said we're talking about military people just to try and to shorten the length of what's going on. But I think I'm going to stick to elderly people because I found today that there's two types of people that these people that the scammers will go for. So we've got elderly people, and then the second type of people these military scammers going for are people that don't speak English very well, and they're not necessarily elderly people. So I found this same particular scammer on younger websites today. I found them all over TikTok. I found them all over
Really?
Instagram. I found them all over Snapchat, and it's not. And that's why I want to separate this conversation from people who don't speak English very well, or don't speak, or that can't comprehend things a lot like that. To separating that and the elderly people. We can talk about the non-English thing another time, but for tonight, I just want to make it about the elderly people, and because I want to talk about what we can do to help them. Um, okay, so a scammer will usually, as like a lot of you guys probably know a lot about this information in the first place, but I want to teach you about like the branches of how this spreads out. Now, let's say I was investigating. I was investigating a scammer for a friend and who was concerned about a loved one, and um, I finally got some information. Now, the first place I went to, I was given an email address and I was given a name of what the scammer was using. My first place to search um, was PayPal. And you know when you send and receive money on PayPal, oh shit, I gotta be careful about talking financial. Um,
Oh yeah.
when people when you send someone money on PayPal, you usually need an email address. God, I'm skating on thin ice. Um, yeah, usually when you send people money on PayPal, you need an email address to send it to. This guy, his email address banged first thing that came up on PayPal. So he's obviously getting funds through there. Um, so then I googled the guy's name and then the word scam underneath it, and now he was using a general name. I'm going to say it here because, like, seriously, there's like thousands and thousands of women
Yeah.
being scammed by the same person. So his name all around is General Austin Scott Miller. Now, he's everywhere. Like, I can't tell you the amount of places I found him straight away and the amount of people using that name. It turns out that General Austin Scott Miller is is the most used military name on the internet, and um, he is now retired. He no longer works, but the amount of scammers using this guy's name is ridiculous. Now, I in the search for these people last night, I'm not going to go into the personal information about the way that I found out some information last night, but I started talking to one of the people using this guy's name, and of course I lied to him, but I used my Facebook profile. I told him four things. Now, this is four things that they want to hear from elderly people, or they want to know: A, that you're widowed; B, that you don't have anybody to protect you from scammers, like you don't have anybody in the background that's going to say, like an ex-husband that's going to say, hey, you're being scammed, or like you don't have family around you that's going to say, hey, you're being scammed. So they want that. They want to know they've got security because. So sorry, let me start again. So they want to know that you're widowed and you don't just have an ex-husband or an ex-wife. They want to know that you don't have someone watching over your shoulder so they can do what they want with you. They want to know that you've got some sort of income or a good income, and they want to know that you are. Deb, what was the fourth thing?
Savings
Oh my god! No,
for
no,
a
no, we talked
home.
about that.
Okay.
No, we said that income. Hang on, so it's got. There's
Sure.
four things. Hang on. We got.
Lonely.
Yeah, they want to know that you're gullible. They want to know that you've got
Yeah.
money. They want to know that you're widowed, and they want to know that you don't have anybody around you to protect
Yeah.
you from
I
scammers.
remember those things.
Oh no, I thought it was the four things. Anyway, maybe I'm forgetting something.
Sorry.
Okay, but that's okay. No, I kept remembering the big four. That must be the big four. I can't.
I
I
know.
don't
I
think I'm
need to write
forgetting
it
anything
down.
else. I thought I had it. I thought I had it burnt in my mind,
Oh,
and all
it
of a sudden,
was was vulnerability such as a disability or not being able to drive and such, was that a part of it?
oh yeah, yeah, not so much not being able to drive. Such they want to know that you're gullible. You
Yeah,
need. Hi,
gullible.
Roxy. Thank you for coming. Yeah, they want to know that you're not gullible. They want to know that you're gullible. So they want to run a few things for you to test.
Oh,
They want to.
Christian. It was religion. It was
Oh,
religion, hun.
religion. I
That's what
think that
it
makes it fine.
was.
But yes, no, religion. Yeah, they
Okay.
want to know that you're a good
Sorry.
Christian person. No,
Mhm.
They want to know that you're a good Christian person. So if they give you a sob story, that you'll be willing to fork out some money to help them.
Yeah.
Now, the oh, I'm going to show you too, Roxy. Anyway, so there's big five things. So once they've established that, now when I spoke to this guy last night, I established that within how many minutes? 10 minutes.
Oh,
I told
10
him I was
minutes.
single. I had funds. I was vulnerable. I was,
You were a
you know,
boss. You were a boss.
I was a boss. I told him I had my own business, so I had like a flowing income coming in. I didn't have anyone to share it with, and told him
Involved
that I
in
was
your church. I think you said you were involved in your
in
church or
doing
something.
church. Yeah, yeah, that's right. And that I was an animal lover, so he knew that I was a kind of soft person. So I had a marriage proposal
Write
within
that down.
17 minutes.
Yep.
Yeah, I had a marriage proposal within about, was it 17 or under half
Oh
an hour?
yeah,
Like, it was
yeah.
definitely.
I
It was.
love you was I love you was under 10. That's for
Oh
sure.
yeah, yeah.
I was watching her, you guys. We were on a phone call like this with each other while she was working on the computer, and I saw it happen just like that.
Yeah, so I read this guide straight away, and I was just doing it. But I was trying to eliminate some scammers for my friend, because the thing was that this guy made a comment that he was in trouble in, not to me, but he made a comment to his other victim that he was in trouble in Iran or Iraq because Donald Trump had been mouthing off and there was some sort of bombing over there. So Deb, can you see that in the chat? See that live notification? He's got live notification without the ON on the end. We need to keep an eye on that.
Okay.
Remember last time he keeps saying that we're going to get banned for saying stuff? Just remember that's a fake account.
See, I don't. I okay.
Did you not see him? Well, he just joined the.
No,
anyway,
I've seen. I remember him from last time. Go ahead. I'm watching. It wouldn't let me block him last time.
I think Becky was here at the same time last time. I think she got to him before you did. I think that's what happened.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So, anyway, so let's get back to the story. So I started talking to this scammer, and he proposed to me basically in less than half an hour. Now, the reason that I went down that track is because he said a few things that were very similar to what he said to the other victim. So I was trying to figure out if this was the one or not. But this scammer, this guy, this general actually has so many scammers using his name. You need some specific details to figure out if it's the same scammer. While we do have an email address for him, we don't have. We need phone numbers, because this guy eventually took me to Telegram. Now I'm a Telegram expert, so I don't have a problem going there. But the idiot didn't hide his telephone number, so I was given that. So now the reason that I'm saying all this is because and the reason that I did it is because I wanted to fast track. I wanted to fast track the relationship so we could figure out if he was close to being the one we wanted, and I wanted to show I wanted to show an example of how quickly scammers will come for you if they think that you're the right person for them to take money from. Now, now that we've established, okay, so in this instance, we're going to call me the victim, okay? So we're going to call me the victim so I can explain to you guys what can happen as the elderly person. Yes, I'll play the elderly person. So we can explain as an elderly person what can happen to me if I'm involved in this guy. Now, this guy has managed to isolate me from my family and, well, okay, let's say hypothetical. For those people just joining the chat, this is all hypothetical. I mean, it happens to other people, but we're using me as an example, although it did not happen to me. So let's say I'm the victim, and the victim will talk to me now. Oh, by the way, I have a script. If anybody's interested, I have a script that the scammers use. It's literally a written handbook for scammers to go
really
through the romance
interesting.
scammers. It's pages long. I have a copy of it. If anybody wants to see it, shoot me a message and I will send you a copy of the scammer's script. So once they go through the script and they figure out if you're the right person for them, they will keep going and okay, so this is what will happen. Me as a victim, so I've been isolated from my family. And let's say I don't know how to use payment apps. I don't know how to send funds. This guy's going to tell me as a defense member that he's stuck overseas in a war-torn area that he can't get out of. And he needs funds to get out of there. And that he will pay me once he's out of the country safely, or he's going to come over and he's going to marry me, but he has to get out of his military servings at the time. So let's say I'm going to send him money. I don't know how to. This guy is going to spend, for somebody that's supposed to be in military war-torn areas, this guy will spend every minute of the day with you trying to teach you on your phone or your computer how to send payment to him. Now, we're not just talking about payment apps. We're talking about physically getting money out of your bank account, taking it to a crypto machine and putting it into an ATM machine at a crypto ATM machine. There's other ways to do it. So he will figure that out. Okay, now he will keep you going as long as you're giving money to the scammer. The scammer is going to keep you in his group of victims. And he will do what he can to protect you as that part of that group of victims. Now, if he gets an inkling that your family is onto this, he's going to start putting things in place. And he's going to start telling you that your family is just trying to come in between the family's trying to come in between your relationship and that you're loved, and your family's trying to separate you, and they're jealous and they're horrible people, and it's going to make the victim very agitated. And so once that starts happening and the families are sus on it, even if the families find out, they've got to get one step ahead of the scammers. You need to get as much information as a family member. You need to get as much information on the scammers as you can. Now, depending on the country that you're in, there's certain ways to do it. Now, there's also certain ways not to report a scammer. And while I'm always about reporting scammers, there's always ways to sorry, I keep getting brain fog every now and then, but it's coming back. There's wrong ways and right ways to report a scammer, because some departments will say, hey, that person's given money willingly. We can't do anything about that. Or, you need to go to another department, or you need to go to someone else. Like, we can't help you, sorry. Like, you know what I mean? If you do the research, you will find there are the right departments. Now, the first place in America, and Australia has its own cybercrime department here, and each country will have specialists. You can't just go to the police and say, hey, I've been conned. Because the police will say, well, okay, we've got a cybercrime department, go to them. You know what I mean? But if you do the proper research, especially for elderly people, there is an FBI. Sorry, I'm just going to grab it up on my computer. I'm just going into an email to find it because I can't remember the name of it. So there's an actual FBI department that runs for elderly people.
Is it the Elderly Justice Department?
Yeah, I'm just having a look. Justice protection. Okay. So yeah, there's a. Hang on, it's verifying that I'm a human. That's ironic, considering we're talking about scammers. Okay. Okay. Yeah, the FBI has a section on elder fraud, and they have on the elder fraud site. They have actual places to go to report all different scams, but they've got a section for romance scams, tech support scams, grandparent scams, all sorts of things. But again, we're focusing on romance scams tonight. So, and also there's what's the other one? The Department of Justice. Is it the? Hang on.
Yeah, it was.
Hang on. I'll just get up. Department. Hang on. Department of Justice.
A big help.
Not
without a hard copy.
No, sorry. Hang on. Department of Justice.
I could look it up on my email. You emailed it to me. I could look it up on my email.
Yeah, no, that's all right. No, that's all right. I've got it here. That's fine. Yeah, I'm just gonna put in. I've got to put in the right location because it's coming up for Australia. Okay, so the Department of Justice. Oh yeah, here it is. I found it. So the Department of Justice in the US has an Elder Justice Initiative, and it helps especially with all different types of elder abuse. But there is a section there for financial exploitation. So here's the thing: if you've got an elderly member of your family that says they're fully aware of what they're doing and everything, if they've been letting a scammer run their life for years and you can tell that they've changed in their behavior and all that sort of thing, they are not able to care for themselves in that regard and they need the help. Some people will call adult protection. Adult protection won't help you because they'll just go out to the person and the person, like to the elderly person, they'll say, hey, I'm fine.
Yep.
Yeah. And so adult protection would see, yep, they've got clothing on their back, they're not hurt, they're fine. You know what I mean? And that's not
a doctor has to find that elderly person cognitively incapable to be able to be responsible for their health decisions or their financial. And you can have it wrote down as power of attorney or whatever. Even if you're your backup parent, your parent's power of attorney, that does not into effect unless your parent is deemed incompetent or not cognitively able to do it. There's different words used. I hate the word incompetent, but it will be used a lot when you get older.
That's right. So if you've got an elderly person in your family that's been taken for a ride by a scammer, it doesn't mean they can't think straight. It just means that they're very, very unwilling to accept. Like they're so desperate for some sort of affection, even just to have someone on the other end of the phone. It doesn't matter if they meet them or not. They're going to keep helping. So in that regard, these people are incompetent in that regard. So the FBI have an elder fraud section, and the US Department of Justice have the Elder Justice Initiative, and each of them have both specific. Oh my god, I can never say that word. Have special
Pacific.
Thank you, Pacific.
Okay.
I'm sorry. It's like saying, oh, I know what you mean. There's certain words I get tongue-tied with, and that's one of them. Anyway, they have special areas just for financial exploitation and romance scamming. Okay, so again, we're forgetting about everything else. We're just talking about that. So you need to go as it doesn't matter if they're family or not. If you know somebody that this is happening to and nothing has been done to help them, you don't even need the approval of the person who's being scammed because they're never going to agree to it. Go and report it and take all the information that you have. Sorry, Deb, go ahead.
And also, if you have a profession in which you are a mandatory reporter, such I was as a caregiver, or teachers, or anybody that works with vulnerable people with disabilities or limitations, you legally are mandated to report any kind of abuse that you see towards these vulnerable people. And you're just doing what you have to do, because really you could be considered neglectful of this elderly person that you're supposed to be responsible for.
That's
So
exactly right. No, that's exactly right. So they need to be reported. Now, there's if you go to it, there's a channel on YouTube that they're on. Look, they're on TikTok too, but I prefer to go to YouTube because there's so many fake accounts on TikTok when it comes to anti-scam groups. If you go to TikTok and look for or even their website, I don't know their website off the top of my head, but the YouTube channel for them is Social Catfish. They've done some work with Trilogy Media and a few other anti-scammer groups. They've particularly done some elderly people, like some of these scenarios where the elderly people are being scammed and are unwilling to believe that they're being scammed. Now, fortunately, these people were able to get enough evidence to provide the elderly people with the information that they're being scammed. Deb dropped something.
I know.
Reach down a bit further. Reach down a bit further. You're nearly there. You're nearly there. You got us.
My grandson groans and copies all the noises I make when I bend over to mock me, the little booger. But I love it. It's funny. Go ahead.
I can see you didn't know you nearly reached us. Yeah. So anyway, so Social Catfish has done quite a few episodes with elderly people.
Social Catfish.
And Social Catfish. I think that's when I emailed you back in the early when I. Oh, sorry, Deb. I'll shut up. Anyway. So, now when these people were told on Social Catfish that been scammed, here's the evidence. It took them a lot of convincing. They weren't willing to give up talking to these people because they were so in love. Like, it took a lot. Like, it took a couple of visits for them to finally let go. You know what I mean? Like, it's devastating to the people. They feel embarrassed, or they just don't want to believe it because this scammer. Okay, so let's talk about that. Hang on. Let's go down.
Yes, the emotional trauma.
I'm so sorry. Yeah, I'm trying to do this without rambling and carrying on, but there is so much. There's so many different roads to go down when this happens. So let's talk about. Okay, the elderly person has now aware that her family's aware. His or her family's aware, and they're obviously angry with people. They're accusing people of, like, you took my internet away, you took my phone away, blah, blah, blah. Like, you know what I mean? You're lying about the scammer. So let's talk about what happens at that point. I can't tell you what happens after you report it to the FBI and the Department of Justice, but I do know that they're two specialized areas. And if I was going to report in America, that's who I would go to. You don't need the Attorney General. You don't need adult protection. You need to go to the specific sections for that. If I ever hear of a case coming out of there once it's been reported properly, then I do know Social Catfish has gone to those people too. So it's well worth it. Okay, so let's talk about what happens when the family member is now aware that everybody knows, and we're trying to separate them. Okay, so let's say the scammer hasn't been caught yet, and caught yet, and the scammer hasn't been cut off. So just when you think, like, you can take away the phone, you can take away the internet, but there's other ways for the scammer to still get to its victim. If this victim was always paying out, the scammer is going to do what they can to get hold of the elderly person. Now, the first thing they're going to do is they're going to look through all the information that they've got from the victim over the time during their talks. You know what I mean? So they could be talking about family, and they can be talking about what kids they've got, and they can be talking about what emails they've got. They could be talking about suburbs that they live in, or they can be talking about, oh, I live across the road from the Statue of Liberty. Like, you know what I mean? They can look at whatever little information they have and figure out where, all the, sorry, so I don't mean to cut off that sentence, but or it could be that the elderly person has flat out given them their address before. The scammer will do whatever he can to hold on to the victim. Now, one thing that they will do is try and make contact in other ways. Now, I know this sounds ridiculous, but you've got to stick with me here. Gaming systems, like if there's any sort of PlayStation, Xbox, anything. Now, I know that a lot of elderly people don't play games, but there is some that do. Like, if there's any electronic type of way to connect with this person, they will find it. Gaming systems is one way, and I know there's a way that PDF files get little kids as well through gaming things, but trust me, it can happen for anybody. The other thing is handwriting a letter. Like, they will write to this person. Well, first off, they'll try to email them, and then they will handwrite a letter to this person. Now, if they don't have an address, they will hire someone to do it. Now, we know about money mules that collect money from scammers. We know about those, but there's two types of mules. So you've got your bad mules who.
I
Deb,
see
can you
him.
see that?
Yeah.
Hang on, let me screenshot. Hang on, let me screenshot it first.
Okay.
Yeah, I just want to screenshot it. You know what? Can we just leave him there for now because I want to see what he does.
Sure.
Oh God, hang on, I'm trying to screenshot it and it keeps coming up with my volume. Oh my God.
I could try. Screenshot. Can't wake up Bixby. Oh, I guess my assistant is asleep. Can't wake up Bixby right now? Alrighty. Weird.
Hey, I'm just trying to screenshot something. My phone's being a cow.
Yeah. Trying to think if I massage my buttocks and my legs before I go to sleep, maybe I won't wake up with Charlie horses. Fucking hurt so bad. Cheryl Lynn, hello. Hi, Roxy. Okay. That's it.
All right, I'm gonna leave you now.
Uh-oh.
Ignore it, please.
Okay, sure.
No, it's me. I was trying to take screenshots and it was playing up. Okay, anyway, okay, everybody ignore the notification. Okay, so where was I talking about? Okay, so we're talking about like meals. Okay, so
meals.
Two types of mules that work for scammers. So you've got the bad ones who will work for a cut of the profits, and you've got I don't want to call them good mules, but scammers are known for using other victims as mules too. They will say, "Hey, I've got someone in there that I've got someone in America that I need to have a check picked up from, and it's for my business. Can you go and pick it up for me, and can you bank it for me, and then you can." Okay, we're banned. I think I need to take another screenshot of that.
We're banned? Is that fake?
We're not banned.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's probably scammers. They don't like Nettie because she gets them.
Yeah, they don't like me. That's why they're in here telling me I'm banned.
Yeah.
Anyway, so oh, they want to join. They want to come up in a box. Look, I'm going to let you up in a box. Anyway, okay, so the good meals, well, I call them good meals, but they're other victims of these scammers. So
brainwashed.
Like the scammer will say, "Hey, I've got they've been brainwashed." So the scammer will ask them to pick up a check and bank it on their behalf and put it into his crypto account or whatever. But if this victim's been cut off contact from the scammer because their family has finally figured it out, then one of the ways that they can try to get to them is through another victim. Try to get a message, say, "Hey, I've got a family friend who's really unwell and I need someone to contact them for them," or they will get, if they've had the phone taken away from them, they will get another phone and send it to the victim. So the victim can you spell properly? Because for a TikTok notification, your English is really crap. Anyway, so they will get a phone and send it off to the victim. And there is so many different ways. Now, if your scammer has a victim's phone number, he will also use that phone number to sign up to other dating sites. Now, not just dating sites, but open accounts everywhere. It could be dating sites, it could be classified ads, it could be a lot of things. Like it could be opening accounts everywhere. And he will say to his victim, because what will, when you try to sign, like make an account with something, that they will send you a 4-digit PIN number or something to your phone. And so what they'll do is they'll use the victim's phone number to open accounts in places. Then that will send the victim a message saying, hey, I accidentally had a PIN number sent to your phone. Can you read it back to me? And then he will log in using that. So not only has the victim been used for funds, they are now being used to open accounts everywhere. This notification person is really annoyed with me because they're a scammer, and I'm telling the truth.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've got scammers have got different ways of contacting the victim, even though you think you've cut off all the communication with them. They are, if they're desperate enough, and if they've been getting enough money from their victim, then they will find a way. They will find a way, whether it's through a courier, whether it's through a mule, whether it's through the post office,
they'll get on their little scooter and go to the library and ask the librarian to help them get on their email, and then send them something.
Yeah,
because they could do that right. too. And I want to say this really quick, because some people are thinking, well, how could somebody be so stupid or whatever? When we're talking about elderly people, you guys, anything 70 and up or whatever, like my mom and her husband, they watched Hallmark movies all the time. I mean, they're still stuck back in the 50s and 60s when they were a young adult, and there wasn't all this kind of harm and people going after people and trying to, people just worked their butts off and tried to live their lives. So they don't even conceive the fact that somebody could be so manipulative and that could have made this a business of how they're supporting themselves, because they're very naive.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
And they become when one partner passes away, the other becomes lonely and distraught, and these scammers usually show up right at the right time. Like they know when they've found someone vulnerable. They know what they're dealing with. If someone says, "Hey, my husband just died a week ago," these scammers will be around to try and help them grieve, and
Yeah. Oh, and I sold my house. Really smart to tell them that. Oh, I sold my house now, and I'm gonna live with the so and so, and blah blah blah. Sold your house. Well, they know that that's a good hunk of money there. Let's start chipping away at that.
Obviously, just going back to the very start of it too. Obviously, when we talk about military romance scammers, people in the military don't have accounts that, like, all their friends are females, or a lot of the time, if they claim to work in intelligence, they don't have public Facebook profiles. Like, it's just ridiculous. Anyway, this I felt it was important to talk about this tonight, not only because it affects your mothers and your grandmothers and your grandfathers, and that. I went down a rabbit hole today. Like I said, I've been investigating this for less than 24 hours, and I felt this sense today of dread and I can't explain what I felt, but I was on a Facebook page, and at first I thought the Facebook page was to support, victims were supporting each other from being scammed from this guy. And when I got in there, all it was this guy. Oh, this was disgraceful. I'm sorry. I got to tell the story. I haven't told you yet, Deb. The posts that were in this group it was different scammers posting the picture of this general and saying, "Hey, I've had my account hacked. Please add me here," or like, and but the thing was like, it was just like all different scammers using different versions of this guy's name. Like, his name's obviously General Austin Scott Miller. People were using General Austin Miller or Austin Scott Miller or Austin Scott Miller. Like, they were just using different versions of the name, and I was looking in the comments, and like there were women commenting on the comments saying, "Hey, nice picture," or "You look very handsome," or "You like," and and then in the sub comments underneath them, there were like 6 or 7 different scammers, all competing for this one victim. Like, they were saying, "Hey, honey, remember me? Send me a message," or "Hey, honey, oh, I can never forget you. Remember when we spoke?" Like, this is in the same thread. There's 6 or 7 different scammers. And I'm like, and they're fighting for this one victim. How can the victim just, you got to wonder, like, how can the victim just see all the different scammers with the same name messaging her,
Yes.
asking them to message her? It blew my mind. It absolutely blew my mind. So I did
And
what I
it
used to do.
confuses them. They want to keep them
Yeah.
confused, I think.
Yeah, and some of them were saying, "Hey," some of them, the victims were saying, "Hey, remember we were speaking? Is this the same one?" And even if it wasn't, the guy would be like, "Hey, yeah, this is me. Remember me?" Like, you know, like, they get very general, and then that's how they hook them back in. Like, I don't mean general as in military general. Like, they just be very general about their answers. So, look, years ago, back in like, between 2010 and 2015, I was helping a few women on Facebook, and I was helping them because these people had a lot of scammers that were chasing them, and they would send me the accounts to go and look at, and straight away I'd be, "Yeah, he's a scammer," or "Now he's not." But a lot of them were military ones, and I'd say to these people straight away, like, they'd want me to go through their friends list and get any scammers out of their friends list. And I would say to her straight away, "Hey, stop adding people that have military photos because they're all scammers." Like, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
she, every time I would check this one woman's account, I remember she was Spanish, or she was from Brazil. I would come back and check her account every 3 months. She was about my age, and every time there had been more scammers added her. Now I did have one experience today. Like, this is what really took me down. I went down a rabbit hole of messaging as many women as I could that were commenting on these guys' pictures to say, "Hey, you're talking to this guy. He's a scammer. I don't want anything from you. I can prove I'm a complete volunteer. I don't want any money. I'm just a scam investigator. Like, if you want information, please feel free to message me. I can show you proof." One woman got so upset at me. Like, she reported me. She ended up blocking me.
Oh, goodness.
But I looked at her account. I looked at her profile. It broke my heart. This woman obviously is. You can tell just by looking by her pictures that she thrives the attention of she's longing for a male. She's got a whole lot of men around her in a picture, like, and I mean, like, she's at like in one of those strippers type shows, you know what I mean? And she's got 2,997 friends in her Facebook page, right? I did not see one person in her friends list that wasn't a scammer. Like, and then I saw, like, when she posted pictures, there was like different guys, like muscly guys and everything, messaging her saying, "Hey, can you please answer your private message? Like, I'm going to send you a private message." Like, every one of her friends was a scammer, and like, when I messaged her, I said, "Please don't take this the wrong way. I want to help you. Like, I can help you." Like, and she just got angry and abusive and then blocked me. Like, but I haven't heard from like any of the other women that I have messaged yet. And I've even offered these women, what do you call it, references, like references from me. Like, I want to prove to these women that I'm not after any money and that I'm not trying to scam them myself. I'm not trying, because on TikTok here, like, I run anti-scam things on TikTok all the time, and I look at scammers in my comments that will go after my followers. Like, they even message me. They claim to be cybersecurity companies, and they claim to be people that can get your money back if you've been scammed, and that type of stuff.
Oh,
But
Netta, you should cover
oh,
the part about how they also use famous people's profiles or try to act like, like I have Chris Stapleton and some of these other, country
that's a
western
whole nother video.
singers. And oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, that's a whole nother video. Yeah, we're just doing
Yeah.
military tonight, like that. No, that's a
Oh,
whole
okay.
other video. That's a whole
That's why
different
you
thing.
had to narrow it down. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got actually proof of that. Like I've got proof of that I want to show. So that's a
Oh,
whole nother
yeah.
video. That's why I just want to concentrate on the military stuff tonight, because a lot of people think that the military people won't lie, like, and they look handsome in
Yeah.
their uniforms, and they do, but
They do.
it started to put me down a lot, like when I saw, when I was messaging these women on Facebook today, and my son sort of took me out, and I just, oh God, bloody hell. Okay, hang on, I've got to get rid of that name. It's going to get me booted. Crap. Sorry, dude, but go and change your name and come back. Anyway, I was so distraught from it, and my son took me out for a while, and I come home, and then I just happened to put in the general's name to TikTok, because wasn't thinking about. I thought surely on TikTok he won't have people will pick up on the fact straight away he's a scammer. I
Yeah.
thought surely on TikTok people are going to see it, and I stumbled across an AI video of him saying, "Hey, this is the real me. I am really him," but it's clearly an
Oh
AI
no.
picture speaking.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? I think I shared it with you, Deb, but or I tagged you in it, or I shared you.
No, you sent it. It
can't-
was one of the last ones you sent me. Yeah.
yeah,
But see,
yeah,
one
and
of these elderly people wouldn't even begin to understand that somebody could make an AI thing like that. They'd think for sure
yeah,
that
that's my
was
point.
this. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it was a total AI thing, and I thought, oh my God, the AI that is ridiculous. Like, I remember the lady that I was just speaking to, who I used to help on Facebook years ago. She got a video sent to her, of a guy speaking, saying, "Hey baby, I love you," like, but it was obviously in an African accent, and
Oh yeah.
the lip syncing, the lips moving on the guy in the video, and the voice didn't even match. Like, it was
Oh.
it was like watching a really bad dubbed movie,
Yeah.
and but
And
that was back then.
and what people should understand too is if they claim to be a military person, then maybe they would get away with the fact more that, or mostly if they're secret, they can't tell where they are or whatever, they could get away with the fact that they never have actually called the person or did a face to face with them. They will tell them it's because, well, for their top security they can't do that. But these people, these victims, actually will be in a relationship with this person just on the apps, messaging, without ever having seen them, heard their voice, or spoke to them. It's unbelievable the hold they have on them.
And if the person finally decides they want to have a video call, which elderly people don't normally do too much, there is apps now for them to do live AI. So it doesn't just have to be, but these people, Nigerians, aren't the smartest when it comes to doing AI videos, and they're very, very transparent that it's fake, but elderly people aren't going to pick that up. They're just going to say the internet's glitching, or etc., etc. So anyway, this has won my heartbreak today, because I don't know how to save them all. Like, I feel like I want to do something on a big scale, and just for victims of this one guy. Like, they're not even using different pictures, and you know what? There's so many pictures of this guy on the internet to use, right? But these guys are now, even to try and prove that they got like personal pictures of him, they're actually using pictures of other men and photoshopping the general's face on them, so it looks like they've got like their own. So, like, if the women say, "Hey, take a selfie right now,"
Yeah.
they will Google a picture. Like, they'll say, "Oh, I'm in hospital. I've been shot." I saw a picture today of our general, using a walker coming out of a hospital room like he's just had surgery, right?
Oh,
But on research, I looked in the comments, and one woman was onto it saying, "Hey, that's not the general. This is this guy." And she actually showed the picture of the guy who it actually is, and they've just photoshopped the general's
yeah.
bloody
But
headphones.
see, but again, an elderly person probably isn't even aware that that can be done now. So that's
Yeah,
why
that's exactly right.
I think you told me at the very beginning when we met that that sometimes you can gather all this information for these people, present it to them, show them the facts of what you found and how they have deceived other people. And that person is
Yeah,
so deep in and really truly believe in their mind. It's like a Hallmark movie or whatever, and they love them. They're going to come get them. Mostly if it's an older
yeah.
person, you guys, that's in a nursing home or living with a family
Mm,
member where they're miserable in the basement or whatever, and this
yeah,
person's telling them, oh, I have 3 different homes in the United States and you can decide which state you want to live in and all this kind of shit. Is just the mind fuck is unbelievable. It's just
yeah.
unbelievable.
It's absolutely terrible.
It should be criminal.
Well, it is, but just catching the bastards, you know.
Yeah.
Um, so here's a takeaway from this. Um, if you have an elderly person that's being scammed or you think's being scammed, go straight to the elder justice system through the FBI and the Department of Justice. That's your best bet. You don't need to go to adult protection. You don't need to. I mean, if you have some sort of legal authority with the bank over this elderly person, then go and put something in place or go and speak to the bank about the possibilities. But just be aware, for everything you think you've stopped to stop the scammer from getting to the victim, there's going to be something else going on in the background. You need to be so well versed on this, and if you don't think you can do it, get someone to help you. Get someone that knows. Speak to, like, I'm happy for conversation. I'm not in America, but I can certainly give you the right people, like, or I can
And
help you discover whether it's a scam or not. Like,
and Nettie, didn't you say at the beginning that also that they will almost immediately try to get you onto another app and off of Facebook or
oh
whatever.
yeah,
They'll try
absolutely,
to, yeah. So
yeah,
that's the
yeah,
first red flag.
yeah. Once they try to get you on another app because they know that if they get reported, that they're going to get banned off Facebook and they will lose their victim there. They could talk to you on Telegram, WhatsApp, um,
Yeah.
what so many different
Zini
apps,
or
and
yeah.
yeah, Zangy, yeah. There's so many different places that they'll take you, and the reason they do this is two reasons. A, they want to keep that Facebook page going because that's where they're attracting all their victims, so they don't want to get banned there. And B, they don't want you seeing what they're doing on there. So once they found you on Facebook, and they get you off Facebook and onto Telegram, they will probably block you, so you can't see what they're doing. It's like Smacky when she finally gets money from somebody. Like, she'll
Yeah.
block them on the app, so like the rest of the chat can't see that she's got money. You know what I mean? Um,
And
so they
I'd
would
say,
try. They would. Sorry,
I'm
go ahead.
sorry, go ahead. Oh, I was
No,
just
no,
going
you
to
go.
say another sign would be if this elderly person has never had a problem with you checking anything on their phone, like if their voicemail is full or that they have all these, they think that they're missing messages or whatever. If they start guarding that phone where you never see it away from their sight, that is a really, really big sign too. It really
Yeah,
is. And just the
yeah.
whole behavior of acting like they don't need you because they have this wonderful person in their life now. It's pretty bad.
You got to think of it as. I know it sounds horrible. You need to think about it as a teenager that you're watching.
Yeah,
Like,
it
you're trying
is.
to protect your teenager from talking to older
Yeah.
men and being taken away. Like, it's
And with
exactly the same
and,
thing. You
yes,
have to
and
be a
with
step
all
ahead.
Yes, and with all due respect to your elderly loved one or whatever, I'm sorry, but your safety is more important,
Mm,
and it's if they live by themselves, you know, there's this one scam where the scammer is only talking to you a short amount of time, then they want you to meet in person, so they ask you to call this a smaller airport like in Anaheim, California or whatever, and San where they have those winds anyway,
mm,
and then they want you to make the arrangements through this special email that they gave you, and then you would buy the tickets, the people get to the airport or whatever, go to show the screenshot or whatever the electronic ticket they got, and there was no such ticket bought. So then they call the scammer, and the scammer says, oh, it must be some kind of mistake, we'll have to reimburse you, go ahead and just purchase another ticket, I'm waiting for you, my love. I mean, they could end up in another country, you guys, just
mm.
vulnerable, and they could beat them until they draw out all their money. You don't know, it shit
Yeah.
happens.
And that's what the scammers are so desperate to hold on to the victim. As long as they're aware the scammer,
And
I
in
just
the
had a
way
thought.
that
As long as they're aware the scammer still has money, they will do whatever they can to hold on to them until they've drained every last
yeah
cent out of them,
it,
or the victim
and
dies. You know.
because we're on the subject of the military ones, I think if this military general or whatever say, yes, my love, please, I can't get there to see you, but you come see me,
Mm,
they would believe
mm,
that they're going to a military base or whatever. I'm telling you,
mm, mm,
they still think that they're in the 1950s and 60s sometimes. I've worked with a lot
mm,
of elderly people, and I don't mean that disrespectfully. They're just
mm,
astonished at what this world has become as far as deception and people doing so bad to each other. It's not even comprehensible to them because they don't think
no,
the world's supposed to be like that. It's very sad.
no, yeah, no. It is. It's very sad. So look, long and short of it is, if you think a loved one has been victims of this, um, talk to them, see if you can get as much information as possible, and report it to the FBI, Elder Justice, or the local one in your country. If you're in a different country, you're not in Australia or in America, and you need to find out who to contact, feel free to message me, and I will figure out the right people for you to speak to. I have ways of.
Oh,
I mean, I'm nobody special, but I have ways to figure out in what country
and
to speak to the right people.
and if
Sorry,
that
Deb.
if that elderly person is on your phone plan, with which a lot of people do that for their senior loved ones, um, keep an eye on, like what Nettie and I were talking about, how you can go into Verizon or wherever, and you can see
Mm,
the different numbers that phone has been contacting. Start screenshotting them or whatever you do, and collecting those just in case something like this
mm,
happens, because those phone numbers can really help narrow it down. Like when Nettie said, there's just thousands of these military scammers. And also, I don't know if you said at the beginning, Nettie, that even Stars and Stripes put out an article regarding this, or that they do quite often to keep
yeah.
reminding people of it.
Yeah. There's statements done by military bases to military departments too. This man, who the actual proper general, has come out and actually made a statement,
Yes.
like a video statement. He was forced to, like, and
Yeah.
not many people who have their identity stolen have had to do that, but he has had to come out and make a physical statement. And this man, the poor man, retired, I think, at the end of last year or mid last year or something. And he's just been getting this in retirement. It's just
And,
and the scammers with him started in about 2018. So this poor man has been dealing with this since 2018, like, and just
And
getting
the
worse.
sad
Like,
thing of it is, for how many decades this man served our country, trying to protect
Right.
it and to keep it from being infiltrated by things like this to hurt its citizens. And here he's worked all his life to have this. I mean, I saw the list of his meritorious promotions and how he worked
Yep.
his way up through the ranks. This guy did a lot of sacrifice of his personal family life to do what he did, and now these freaking scammers are coming in there and dirtying his name and blasphemy on his name, when all his life he focused on being a good human being and have this country in its foremost thought. That's just, I mean, it should be even a worse crime if it's done to a military with a military's person's name, in my opinion. Because
isn't there a charge over there in America for impersonating or like stolen valor? That's what it's called, stolen valor. If you wear, I saw someone wearing medal of a defense person and a military person, and someone caught them on camera and they were arrested for stolen valor. So I mean, if they get their hands on the scammers and they can get them over here to charge, and that's just another charge, and there's quite a hefty consequence for that, I believe.
Well,
so
you were an Air Force wife. I was a Marine wife, and I mean, a certain sense of pride comes with that when you see your man,
absolutely,
and you know, and what they do for that. I mean, it's something that I'll never I'll always be proud that I was there to support him in the Marine Corps. I helped him to get his meritorious promotions by spit shining his boots and doing the ammo belts and starching the camis and the hats, because this was back in the 70s and early 80s, you know. So yeah, to turn around and disgrace him, to disgrace a man that has put his whole life out there like that for his country, it should be an even worse crime.
Yeah. All right. So let's just close this out. So let's.
Okay.
I just want to give final words on this. So so if this has happened to a family member of yours, or someone that you know or love, or someone else's family member, like I said, gather as much information as possible. Get it from your phone records, from their phone records, bank records, if possible. Now, there's a good chance these people aren't going to want to hand that information over to you because they think that you're stealing the love of their lives. But even if you can't get it, go to the FBI and go to the elder abuse section in the Department of Justice in America. Like I said, if you can't find the right one in your country, let me know and I will find it for you. Okay, so reporting is the biggest thing. Secondly, don't try and communicate with the scammer yourself. I know that I'm doing it, but I'm investigating, and there's a whole other world around there. So don't give it to people. Like you don't just want to go, and as much as you want to yell and scream at this person and telling them how much they're doing wrong, there's a good chance that you can hand over information that might be detrimental. Like you might accidentally let it slip where you are, and that's going to give them contact with the scammer. If you fight with the scammer, the victim could believe that you're the one coming in between them because you're picking fights with the scammer. So don't fight with the scammer. Leave that for the professionals, right? Number 3. What's number 3, Deb? Oh, okay, so we're just saying report. Don't engage with the scammer. Only let the professionals engage with the scammer. If you're not getting any luck with the departments of, like the FBI or elder abuse, which you should do, there is plenty of legitimate anti-scammer people around. Like Social Catfish is one, Trilogy Media is another, Scammer Payback is another. Scammer Payback seems to do a lot more call center stuff though, like the Amazon, Microsoft type of stuff. There is help out there. You just need to go to the right people for it. Try and get the support of your family around you, and and you're going to get abused. Someone's going to abuse it. The victim is not going to be happy with you, and unfortunately, you need to take that for a bit until this can all get straightened out. If you have authority, like if you have some of it, like I said, if you
Power
have
of
some sort of
attorney.
authority over power of attorney, if you have access to their bank accounts, emails, all that sort of stuff, go and talk to those people, put things in place. Even post offices, like for receiving packages and that sort of stuff, go and talk to these places. Say, hey, we've got a scammer that's been contacting them and it's going to try and still contact them. Can we put something in place? So put an
And check
alert on their account.
and check
Sorry,
and
go
see
ahead,
if
Tim.
there's a check and see if there's a pay app that's been attached to that account now, because like
Yep,
you said,
yep.
it's probably PayPal or Cash App or one of those.
Yeah,
So if there's
unfortunately,
yeah, go ahead.
sorry, I was going to say, unfortunately, in my research, I haven't been able to check all payment apps because I'm in Australia. And I don't know if I want to admit this on here, but I didn't have a VPN that gave me an anonymity of what country I was in. So I
Oh,
couldn't check cash apps and that at this point. But um, look at
oh,
call
oh.
up PayPal and then hit send as if you're going to send some money, but don't send it. But research the email address that they give. There's so many different ways. If you see any phone numbers attached to anything, write it down. Like any little bit of information that you can find. Like I've got a list of phone numbers I've been stumbling across that I'm ready to test. Like you know what I mean. So um, it's if you've got now the other thing I was going to say, if you know anybody or if you yourself has been speaking with General Austin Scott Miller, anybody with any type of derivatives of that name, I want to hear from you. Please message me if you've been speaking to him or any version of his name. I am interested to know any information. I will work with you. I will help you. I will we can talk through it together, and we don't have to do this publicly. We can do this privately. I can provide you with whatever evidence you need. Um, this is a big case. Like this isn't just some. Usually, when I do these scammer things, I find a picture and I find a scammer, and he's maybe talking to 100 different women, and it's easy to bust him. And I contact the person whose photo's been stolen, and I talk to them about their security, like you know what I mean. And it's over and done with really quickly. This is big. Like this is so
Yeah.
big that it's way
And
beyond me. Like there's
and
one group that's got 14,500 people in it. Like it's just
and that's
so
what
yeah.
I want to say, you guys, because like what Nettie was saying, that the victim is probably going to be angry, blah blah blah. Well, you're got to delicately handle some mental health issues here, you guys. One of the things is they're going to be embarrassed and humiliated if family members have
Mm-hmm.
talked to others and told them about it. Then they're going to isolate because they're embarrassed because they think everybody knows how foolish they were. And so please, if you have suspicions of this or it is going on with your loved one, please don't use it as table talk at
Mm.
a cocktail party or whatever. To have some damn respect. Of course, you're probably going to have to tell your children because they'll want to know what's going on with you or how they can help that relative or whatever. But they're going to be
Oh, we're
embarrassed.
talking
They're
about
going to
adult
be
children. We're talking
humiliated.
about adult.
Yes,
We're talking about
adult
adult children.
children.
So
Yes, excuse me, adult
yeah,
children, adult children.
yeah,
But I mean, really, let's, the more you talk about it or you yell it to the world, the more chance that this loved one is going to isolate themselves out of embarrassment, humiliation, or he just has them so groomed and mind fucked that you are all the enemy now, all the enemy because you're trying to keep them apart. So you just try to remember you are dealing with some very fragile. This person had to be very vulnerable, lonely, and
yeah.
probably not having a hard time just living with themselves and their own thoughts after losing a partner of 30, 50, 60 years or whatever. So please don't embarrass them more by telling them they're foolish or whatever. Please try to handle it delicately and let them know that there are thousands of others that fell for it too. And that maybe by reporting it and stuff, maybe that will help them feel empowered to say, well, I'm going to at least try to help so this doesn't happen to somebody else. So you could put a spin on it of, okay, if you really do see what we're saying now, if you want to take this farther and file some charges, maybe that would help them, or maybe they just want to be done with it. So I would suggest just love them through it if you can, if the relationship hasn't been damaged, because sometimes it gets so damn ugly. Yeah.
That's right. Sorry, can I just say too, there's one more thing I want to say. Please be wary of accounts coming through. Like I said, they contact my viewers all the time because they know that I do anti-scam stuff. But if somebody comes to you and says, hey, we know your family member's been scammed, I can help you get that money back, or I can help you chase it. If an anti-scammer person approaches you, like, there's a good chance they're a scammer. Having said that, I contacted people myself, but there is people that people straight away. If they've got if a cybersecurity company contacts you and it's all over their account that they're a cybersecurity company, and they say they'll also say besides the fact that I'll get you your scam money back, that they will deal with kidnap, ransoms, and lost bank accounts, or they've got a whole menu, like an impossible menu. When I contact people and say, hey, you're being scammed, like I will say, hey, there's one person that's scamming you. I found you here. And like, I'm not general. I'm very specific about what I say to them. So I try to make them see that, look, I'm a volunteer. I don't want anything from you. I've got references, like, so the anti-scammer, the cyber hacker groups will all say the same thing, and they will private message you. So just be aware of that too. So, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, also be aware of the fact you'll say, oh, well, my loved one only has under $100,000 in the bank. Why would they go? We're talking about third world countries where there's such bad poverty, you guys. That's why they are doing this, is because of the poverty that, even $20,000-$30,000 to them is a big deal. That could be paying. That needs to be for that elderly person if they fall and break a hip and have to spend time in a rehabilitation place that only pays for 30 days. It's over $600 a day for one of the crappiest nursing homes there are. So these elderly people need that money to be able to get the care they're going to need when it gets to a point with loved ones where we don't have enough of the education or the training of medical professionals, where they do have to sometimes sadly go to a facility. So just remember that money that they have put back from the sale of that house or whatever, that could make such a difference in what the quality of their life is going to be towards these last few years.
That's exactly right. And just to let viewers know, I'm sorry that I rambled through a lot of this, and I did get a bit of brain fog every now and then, but that's just my medical condition. But I'm going to put the full version of this up on YouTube. I will cut out all that rambling at the start. That we had that had nothing to do with this.
Well, cut out if I ramble too.
Yeah, I'm not going to edit the whole lot. I'm just going to take out, the intro when we were trying to figure out stuff. Like, I'll get rid of that stuff. I'll make sure there's nothing personal in there. I was pretty good. There wasn't anything personal.
No. I think that you did great.
I don't think I crossed any lines. I tried to be as general as possible. It's just that this guy is such a general thing, and it's so big. Like, you know what I mean? It's not like we're talking about 100 victims. We're talking about thousands and thousands of victims over 5 or 6 years, and some of them have obviously been going for years too. Like this guy, whoever's running these accounts, they're guaranteed to make money, and it's just like all they're going to do is show a picture and say family means everything, and then like all these women will comment. They don't even have to go looking for them. The women come to them. It's like I just feel hopeless. I'm like, what do I do? Like, I need to do something on a big scale. Like, even if it's just for the women, for this one scammer. Like, I don't know what to do. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put this on YouTube. I'll download it tonight. I'll put it up on YouTube tomorrow. It'll probably take a while to upload, but it'll be there before Monday. I'm just going to put it out there. I'm
Yeah.
going to put this general's name on it, and that's all I can do. I don't know how else to get it out there big time. That's all I
Do
can
you
think
think
of.
that do you think you should attach that other name to it as well? The
Which
alias?
name?
The alias with the
No, I'm going to hold
email?
that. No,
Okay.
I'm going to hold on to that.
Gotcha.
That's a personal thing that I think that thing could get us over the line
Okay.
with some stuff. I'm going to hold on to it.
Okay.
Um, although I will say that I do have email addresses, and let me just say this now, so I don't have to put it on the YouTube video. If you've been contacted by General Austin Scott Miller and you have email addresses for him, or email addresses for his aliases, or any secret ones that he says he has, or you're happy to hand over his phone numbers or whatever, please message me. I'm trying to find
Yes.
one in particular, but again, I can help you. Like, we can help you find stuff. Just you never know. It just takes one. When I was told about this scammer, I said all I need is one bit of information, and I will start finding stuff. And oh my god, it just
And
blew up so big.
it was unbelievable. It was like something busting open. Just
Yeah, it
it's
was.
unbelievable.
Yeah, I just can't believe the rabbit hole that I've gone down. So anyway, I'm going to say this now. If you're watching this on YouTube and you have email addresses or something for this guy, or you want help to get away from him, you need help separating from him. If you've given this guy thousands of dollars, now just also remember too that you could be in trouble for as a felony in America, especially for money laundering. If you've been doing this for a long time and you don't come out and say, "Hey, I've been a victim of this guy," like if you're continually doing this willingly and you're aware that something sus might go on, you could be in legal trouble. But it's not too late. It's never too late to come to the reporting and doing the right thing. If you feel like you need a safe space to do that, I can help you. I can honestly help you. I'm not saying that I'm the be all and end all, but I can give you to the right person. Anyway, so I need email addresses for Scott Miller. I need any phone numbers that you've got, but most importantly, if you want to get out of the situation you're in with him, or you're happy to hand over any information, please come forward. Please message me. I'll put the details. I mean, if you've got my TikTok bio, you can look there, but I'll put the details in the description of the YouTube video here, and feel free to contact me. That's all I've got to say. Anything else? Any last words, Deb? Thank you for
Just
sitting by me while I rambled.
yeah, thank you for all your help. And I just say, also, you guys, let's try to help clean up the men's names that served our country so hard for so long, that these scammers are
Absolutely.
trying to disgrace their name. And these are good men with morals and stuff, and so that's why Stars and Stripes has taken this so seriously, because this is it. They don't want their military being known for this. So yeah,
Yeah,
let's try to help
100%.
clean this up. Our military needs to be respected, not used to hurt others.
That's exactly right. Thank you for letting me vent TikTok and YouTube. I very much appreciate it. I hope that we can help some people by doing this. And look, even if it's not about this Scott Miller and you need help escaping from a scammer, or you think you're being scammed, feel free to reach out. Like, I can get you help. Okay. Good night, Deb. I love you to death.
You
I will
too,
talk to
hun.
you
Thank you.
a little bit later. No, you're very welcome. Good night,
Okay.
TikTok. Thank you very much.
Bye bye, guys.
Right.